Last time we have covered about the SSRP, so today we are going to configure on VRRP. As like the SSRP, VRRP is also one of the gateway redundancy protocol. It's a standard protocol, so it can be the alternative to SSRP. Here, it has a master and backup routers, as like the active and standby in SSRP. To be the master router, the particular gateway should have a highest priority value. The default priority value is 100. Or else, if the priority value is same, then the router with the highest IP address is going to be the master. Also, as the virtual router's address, we can assign the physical router IP address as the virtual router's address. So if we did that, then the particular router will set it default priority as 255 and becomes the master. And the next router is going to be the backup. Here we can assign the group number from 0 to 255 and the virtual MAC range will be this one, whereas XX represents the group number. And it uses the multicast address as 224.0.0.18. Let's configure it. First, we will provide the physical router's address as the VRRP address. There you can see it became the master and it will set its priority to 255. Whereas on next router, it will be the backup and it will set its priority as 100. So this is how we can enable it. But in our lab, we are planning to use the 192.168.10.1 as a virtual router address. So let us go and do it. Here by default permission is enabled, so we don't need to enable it. Here you can see this router is the master. By default we have not enabled the VRRP on next router. Virtual IP address is 192.168.10.1 and virtual MAC address is this one. Permission is enabled by default and the priority is 100 and the master router is local having the priority 100. We can enable the authentication, and if we want to make this particular router as a master, then we have to increase the priority. First, let us configure on the next router. So by default both of them will have the same priority, so gateway 2 will be the master as it has a highest IP address as 192.168.10.20. There you can see. And the by default permission is enabled. But in our case, we want to make gateway 1 as a master. So let us increase the priority. We can assign the priority from 1 to 254. So let us provide it. Also, we can enable the MD5 authentication. Here you can see. Let us go to the PC one and let us set the default gateway as 192.168.10.1. So whenever the physical interface of lane side fails, then automatically the gateway 1 will gateway 2 backup will be the master. And still there is a reachability. So this time the packet is forwarding from 10.20. So whenever we will bring it back, then automatically it will regain its position and becomes the master. So to track the outside interface, or we can enable the track. So for that, track 1, we are going to track the outside interface, and that is S0/0. Here we can enable the IP parameter or the line protocol. So in this case, we are going to use the line protocol. We have the up down and down. So for the case, we are going to use the down as the 5 second and up as like a, and let us enable the 5 second. Let us use this for the VRRP. So whenever the outside interface fails or line protocol gets down, then automatically it should decrease its priority below than that of gateway 2 backup router, and that is we can make it as a 60. So it will make it priority as a 90. So gateway 2 will be the master. So let us see that. This time the master router is 191.10.10. So whenever line protocol of outside interface fails, here you can see, then so this will be the master router. So whenever we will bring back it again, line protocol is on, it will be the master again. Also, it will decrease its priority by 60, and that will be the 90. So that's why gateway 2 becomes the master. So when it becomes off, the LAN protocol gets off, then again it is going to make it the priority as 150 and becomes the master. So this is how we can enable the VRRP.